Hey guys, it's Paul from Sydney. I'm a Newcastle United fan, and you're listening to Club Football, the EPL show.
And then they're like, Loris Karius is the third choice goalkeeper. And I'm like, this is the best redemption story ever if Karius can win the cup.
The producers were making jokes about the Nazis, and that was 15 years later.
I know he's great, I guess, by statistical standards, but I hate Jamie Vardy.
So I think Colleen Rooney might hate him more.
Hello and welcome back to Club Football, the EPL show, your weekly football podcast. My name's Tom Hughes, and I'm not too sure who's just burped, but I think it might have been my partner in crime, Jack Hughes. How's it going, Jack?
Gaslighting.
Hey, that wasn't me. Ladies,
Jack wasn't me.
Jack's just eating like a whole bowl of something, chow mein or something.
Was that Chelsea?
Yeah, it was, in the background.
And let one rip. And then
she's more of a trumper, yeah. And of course, you're wondering...
Wait, she's more of a trumper? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, she's definitely a trumper. She doesn't fart. She's just always got one of them MAGA hats on. And if you're wondering whose beautiful American dulcet tones that is, it's John Sharkey the Ninth. Mr. Greenlight. Mr. Greenlight himself.
Mr. Greenlight himself.
How's it going, John?
I'm good. How you doing?
John, before we get moving into this pod, can I just mention quickly, we don't have to go into it big time. What happened to the Philadelphia Eagles, mate, in the Super Bowl? We did talk about it last week.
We did. I can't really remember.
The Chiefs won.
Because
you can remember.
Yeah, I can't. There's kind of like a black hole from like Sunday to just around 3 p.m. Monday.
Yeah.
I know I don't even really like sports, so it's not really that important to me.
Yeah.
I don't really have much. I don't have much a connection to Philadelphia either, so the Eagles really aren't that important to me. So, really, I guess it just boils down to me wanting to still slam my goddamn head in a drawer every time I think about the Super Bowl. So maybe let's not talk about it. All right, boys. Thank you.
Yeah,
you'll get over it.
I know I will get over it. I'm already kind of over it. It was that the Eagles got outcoached in the second half. It was like kind of a newer coach getting schooled by a legendary coach in Andy Reid for the Chiefs. So it's fine. We lost the Super Bowl by 3 points to a Hall of Fame coach and probably Hall of Fame future quarterback. So salute to them fighting Eagles, but we'll be back. We'll be back soon enough. It's just the beginning for us.
As John sips what can only be described as the world's largest glass of Merlot.
Yeah, the world's largest glass of my own fucking tears. Excuse me. There's my one.
Swear word.
There it is.
So those of you who follow us on social media, which I hope is pretty much everyone apart from probably me dad, who might be shocked about what I'm about to say.
Oh no.
This is the 24th. The 24th episode of the podcast. We've absolutely loved making it. But unfortunately, because of work commitments, I'm starting a new job, which is really exciting. Obviously, I know a lot of people will know that I lost my job like a couple of months ago, but I've got a new job and it's going to be crazy. I'm going to be working evenings and weekends and things. And obviously, look, Jack's up the wall himself with his work. He's got his other podcast, West Underground. He's got the Grand Union, which is a brilliant band. So basically, we just can't find the time, basically, at the moment to make a pod for you guys every week. And we don't want to sort of do it ad hoc.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible not having that time, not being able to do it, because it's something we all really enjoy doing it. But
we love it.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
It does.
It does. Life. It's annoying. I mean, Tom, are you
just like the quarterback from the Chiefs?
Yeah, just like the left tackle got in the way of Jalen Hurts. No, are you upset? Or you don't want to hear your dad, or you don't want your dad to hear this because you don't want him to find out about your new job as a male prostitute?
No, he knows. He knows about that. He's just glad I'm going to be able to pay him back. Finally, that's what he's happy about. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
no, look, so yeah, Dad, I'm sorry to tell you. And so look, obviously the four of us, John, I'm sure included, Courtney as well, we're all gutted really, but we're gonna have to
Yeah.
park the pod for now. But it's not goodbye. It's certainly not the end of club football. And John's just received a fan kiss from his daughter, I
Yeah.
think.
Did you say this is episode 24?
Yeah.
Why don't we go right the other way with it and do like the season 24, right?
Jack
Oh.
Bauer.
And just
Is this
every
the
week
last
it's
hour?
just
It's the last
episode
hour.
24. We milk it for 11 years.
Yeah, well, it's some sort of hostage situation, and only us three can fix it. I wish I knew.
wish I
So
knew.
look, it's not the end of club football. We're going to keep the social page up. There's still some potential special episodes that we're already talking about doing at some point. It's just that right now we can't commit to giving you guys a good show every week, and that's what you guys deserve. John, why don't you quickly tell people about the away day playlist, which of course will continue to hold its place on Spotify?
I mean, I think we could keep adding songs to the Away Day playlist, just so
100%.
people be checking it. Yeah. But the Away Day playlist is our podcast list of Away Day bangers, stuff you just put on when you're heading down to the footy, or you want to go out for the night and get pumped, or you want to lift some weights, get ready for a shift at the male prostitute factory like Tom's going to be doing soon.
Yeah.
It's really, it's just a list of bangers. So what's on what are we chucking on the playlist this week?
Well, I have to be honest, this was my pick, and it probably shows.
This-
It probably shows. But look, because it was the last podcast in a while, I sort of thought it'd be a great idea to have something that'd sort of represent Australia in some way, and sort of represent Liverpool in some way. That most of our support comes from Sydney and comes from Liverpool as well. So we've got the Wombats and Let's
Hell yeah.
Dance to Joy Division, which is an
I was
absolutely
thinking then,
smashing song.
well, what's that got to do with Australia? I remember the Wombats as an animal
The big fairy animals, yeah.
frequently found in Australia.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, the Wombats, they're not from Australia. That big. Oh yeah. Okay. It hit me too.
People at home,
Enjoy it.
if a wombat is a very, it's sort of, it's like a tortoise but with fur.
It's a
They're
fairy
solid.
tortoise.
They're solid. And I
They're
ran
very,
over
very
one
large.
once with
No, you
Courtney.
didn't.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, me and Courtney and Chelsea were driving down the coast, and we hit one in the night. And I don't know how, because they flip cars and everything, don't they? They flip
Yeah,
them
they're
because you
big.
hit them and then the car flips, not like they get out and like push the car over.
The Avengers.
Yeah, they're not Wombats are not Philadelphia Eagles fans. No.
No,
They're not flipping your car.
how good's that video, John, that I sent? Because I'm
my
sure people
goodness.
have heard John talking about the times when the Phillies fans and stuff flipped cars, and they were at it again, weren't they, for the Super Bowl? Not that we can
Mm-hmm.
mention the Super Bowl again.
There was no Super Bowl. They just it's just their natural habitat, much like the wombat here in Australia. The natural habitat of the Philadelphia Eagle is in the street flipping cars or climbing greased light poles, and generally
I'm
causing
just going to say
havoc.
now, I really do condone vandalism. So,
Yeah.
kids, if you're listening.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of rules or authority.
All right,
So,
quickly,
yeah.
quickly, everyone, what's one act of vandalism you've committed in your life?
Ooh,
Oh,
I got a
I
few.
remember when I was in school, there was a girl called Jess. Obviously, I can't say her surname because she could probably sue the pod. But I scribed her name in the school desk.
Ooh,
Tom H
That's-
loves Jess something.
That's a little bit of serial killer, that. I think Ted Bundy was doing
that
that.
is.
I know. No one's seen her for years either. So... What about you, Jack?
John?
I mean, there's okay. When I was living in Cleveland, we had a roommate that kind of we all hated, and then he moved out, and he took one of my best friend who lived with me with him, and then as soon as they moved in together, he kicked my best friend out, so we hated him so much. So I mean, I can't really say this on the pod if we're trying to keep this clean. Yeah, but I spray painted his full name. Is a bad word. I'm not going to say what bad word or the full
What bad
name,
word
but
was it, John?
Oh, bad word. Oh,
John,
what
bad
bad?
word was it?
What bad?
I'm
what
not.
bad
I'm
word
not gonna
was it,
say
John?
it.
We can
I'm not gonna
bleep it
say
if it's too
We can
bad.
bleep it if it's
No,
bad. If it's
I
really bad,
No,
You'll bleep it.
I
I'm
can
not gonna
bleep it.
say it.
John,
Just say it.
don't be scared. It's the
kids,
last one.
my kids are in the room, and you said you wanted to keep this clean. So
Was it-
look,
John,
you-
John,
John,
was
Yeah.
it
John,
ass clown?
It was not ass clown.
Was it-
It was
was it-
much worse than that.
was it shitmonger?
No, it wasn't shit. See, these are better. I wasn't that creative. This
Was
was
it-
like
John-
2001.
John, was it turd burglar?
It wasn't turd burglar. Okay, look, you know when, these were different times, and
Yeah,
we'll say that 2001. Some words that were off the table now maybe were on the table then.
Oh, okay.
Did you say insert name did 9/11?
I wrote insert name also can't melt steel beams.
Oh, jeez, guys, come on.
Tom,
It's
it's
true.
been 22 years.
No, look.
It's true.
No, look.
The
you can-
producers were making jokes about the Nazis, and that was 15 years later.
No,
But all right.
you can.
It's true.
You
Do
can
you guys
make
remember
jokes
Hogan's
about
Hero?
Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's the soonest you can go on this pod. This is a clean pod. This one.
Wait,
right.
where's my Abe? There he is. There's
Oh,
Abe.
yeah?
There's Abe. Hello.
The great.
But look, no,
great
I spray
emancipator.
painted. But the problem was, I said full person's name, first name, last name
Yeah.
is a blank. Not going to say what it is,
Yeah.
but it was on. It was maybe, like 5 by 5 meters
Yeah.
large on the
Okay.
side of a factory that
How
he had
big?
to drive by
Okay.
every day on the way to work. So he
Yeah.
saw that. I'll dig it out for you one time.
How big would you say that is in football fields?
In football fields, it was like a quarter of a football field wide. I mean, it was
Jesus.
it was the side of a factory, of a paint factory in West Cleveland. Maybe it
paint
wasn't
over
fu-
it. Can't
maybe-
you can...
maybe I know. You
I've got the
figure.
means. The worst thing I did was
Yeah.
in the summer holidays when I was in primary school. We got some golf clubs and we went down to our primary school and we were hitting golf balls at the windows. I reckon I lost my dad. My dad had probably like 100-pound balls and I was smashing them into the geography classroom.
That reminds me of it. Another thing I did. A band I eventually joined stayed at my house in Philadelphia, and there was we were up all night shooting fireworks off the back porch into
Nice.
the other street, and they were just like actual ones you're supposed to shoot into the air, but we were
It
shooting.
was like
them
it
into
was like the
driveway.
Gaza Strip.
It was. It would look like Gaza or like Nam. I'm sure there was somebody on that street in the 70s.
You ain't doing me.
Hit the deck.
You ain't do it.
Hit the
Yeah,
deck.
vandalism was a bit of fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
also,
It goes
if you
away
see-
really easily.
Oh, don't do anything to it. Thank you.
So you are still listening to Club Football the EPL show. Are you ready to
Now this is the new podcast, Vandalism.
vandalism?
Vandalism Weekly. What have you done? Vandalism's Weekly.
Insert blank. Right, you ready for your sound effects, lads? Let's talk about what's coming up on today's show. We've got the EPL review. Go. We've got the World Roundup with Courtney. How's it going, Court?
What's up, Courtney?
We've got the Quickfire Forum. We've got the trivia game, which isn't as good as Left Foot Right Foot, but it's nearly as good. It's Name That Club. And
Who knows? John knows.
and then we'll look ahead to the rest of the football season, really, and make our predictions for what we think might just happen. Gents, let's go straight into the football, the Premier League recently,
Let's
the
go.
EPL. Obviously we missed a couple of weeks there, didn't we?
Yeah.
We sort of missed the opportunity to talk about the Merseyside derby. What had actually happened, in all honesty, was I don't know what happened, but I completely got confused and thought it was an FA Cup weekend.
I know.
And it
When
was
you
around
said
the
that
Premier
last
League
time we were on, I was
fixtures.
like, I know. I was like,
Yeah, it
Is
didn't make any
is it
sense.
FA Cup weekend? Okay. Well, maybe Tom would know. He's from Liverpool. He
Jake-
knows
He's the
football
oracle.
more than
Jake
I.
McGibbon, big friend of the pod, sent me a message and he was like, "Love the pod this week. Just wanted to say, why didn't you talk about the football coming up this week?" Yeah, I know, classic. Look, since we've been away, really, let's skip through a couple of things, which have happened. Lads, obviously Liverpool lost this morning in the Champions League to Real Madrid, but we'll come back to that. But they did win 2 back-to-back games in the Premier League. Where are we with Liverpool?
We need a massive overhaul of players. If we can
Yeah.
just briefly mention that game this morning, when you've got a 37-year-old James Milner replacing a 32-year-old Jordan Henderson, when you're getting beat by the greatest team on the planet, and that's your option you've got. That was a great sub 5 seasons ago.
Yep. It was it was like a weird. It was even like a weird transfer when we fought. Like, oh, James Milner. Oh my goodness!
I
Like,
do love him now.
yeah, I love him too. But like, it was like he's old when we got him, and we're like, what?
Yeah, I think he was 30 when we got him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been awesome, but it's just a lot has to change. And I think the back-to-back wins started to play like, oh, okay, yeah, this team's looking good again. This team's looking good again. And then when you play the might of Real Madrid, you go, oh, no, we're not there.
Okay, no,
And I
yeah.
honestly, at the end of that game, I was like, we probably deserve to be in the Europa League next season.
Yeah,
We don't deserve Champions League football next year.
Not at all.
It was shocking one. It was a great start today, but it was a shocking end to the game. Really, Liverpool really only had 45 minutes in them today. Back to the Premier League. Liverpool though are 6 points now behind Newcastle United, with a game less, a game in hand.
Game in hand.
Where are we with
And
Newcastle?
Newcastle's looking like they're starting to they're doing the Arsenal thing or the Tottenham thing around this time of year. You know,
Starting to fall
hanging
away.
around, contending for a while, and then I mean, hopefully for Irish Steve's sake, Arsenal can hang on. But yeah, Newcastle
I don't see Newcastle finishing in that top 4.
not anymore. No.
What about? I mean, what did you think of Nick Pope's red card against Liverpool?
Silly boy.
So good.
Silly.
Like, what are you doing?
Why are all the pundits saying, "Oh, it's so harsh. He's not going to be able to play in the final"? Don't come out of your box and touch the ball with both of your hands. Then.
Yeah,
It's
really
not like
didn't
he was
have to
like
do it,
just
did he?
over the line.
He was 2-0 down. What was he thinking? Oh, I'm going to concede another goal here.
Yeah,
well.
Okay.
We're 2-0 down. No one's going to blame me. I'll just run out and I'll just jump on the ball, grab it with my hands.
It's not like he was right over the outside of the box. He was like 6 yards out
close to the halfway line.
He was so far out.
I had like this moment where like it was all sort of slowly computing to me. So Nick Pope went off and the first thought was, great, the game's gone. The game's gone.
Yeah.
Then Dubravka comes on and I think, oh, I quite like Dubravka as a goalkeeper. I've always liked him. I think he's a good goalkeeper, and then the commentator said, oh, he's on loan at Man United earlier in the season, so he can't play the cup final. And my head's like going like a mile a minute, because that's only as fast as it can go. And then they're like, Loris Karius is the third choice goalkeeper. And I'm like, this is the best redemption story ever if Karius can win the cup.
He hasn't played a professional game of football for 3 years.
I know, but he's very handsome, isn't he?
He is a handsome fella.
He'll be okay, I think. He's got good genes, hasn't he? Really.
He's a model.
Yeah, he's a good-looking fella, isn't he? So yeah, look, Newcastle are starting to look a bit shaky. And to be honest, truth be told, if Liverpool can put some wins together, I think they'll catch Newcastle. I really do. I don't think Newcastle are going to be. I don't think Newcastle have got what it takes to stay in the top 4. I think if they can win the cup,
I don't understand that Anthony Gordon transfer whatsoever either.
Yeah. You know what? It might have been a case of signing a player when they had the chance to sign him. You know, because obviously Chelsea were looking at him. It never happened for Chelsea. Everton are on the ropes, and could probably do with the money. So I think it might long term be a good signing, but again, I think we mentioned it, didn't we, on the pod? Surprised he never went out and got a number 10. Really. one thing I'd like to talk about, as well. Look, we have to say Everton. Sean Dyche has come in, hasn't he? He's done a great job.
Yeah, he's come in. He's done fantastic since he's been in.
Yeah, they're both forward, lads.
You're not wearing snoods anymore. You don't wear a snood on a Saturday. You bastards.
They'll stay up, won't they? They will stay up.
I love Dicey. Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
I know we beat them, but they already look a more physical team.
Yep.
Yeah. And we don't forget, we scored 2 counter-attacking goals there.
Yeah. They had a big chance as well as before.
They had the big chance, didn't they, Tarkovsky?
They're going to stay up. I've been writing them off all year, but they are going to stay up. Yeah. I'm happy for them.
And as I always say, we need Everton in the league. That's 6 points a season for Liverpool. Yeah.
6 points.
Quick prediction for the League Cup final, lads, which is obviously coming up this weekend. Manchester United versus Newcastle. Newcastle's first cup final in 50 years or something like that. What are we predicting?
Well, was Karius in goal?
I was going to say, is Karius really playing? There's your answer.
Yeah, Karius is in goal, yeah.
And then there you go. But
3-0.
Robert is your uncle.
United.
3-0 United. 3-1. 3-1. Newcastle will get one. United are going to...
Anthony Gordon will get one.
They're going to walk that.
You think so, wouldn't you? But, I mean, look, I'd like Newcastle to win. But for the Newcastle I knew 10 years ago, really, not for the Newcastle that we'll know in 10 years, because I'm sure we'll hate them. And a quick one, I wanted to talk about this. I thought it was important to talk about. Lee Mason's been sacked as a Premier League official. He was taken off the Premier League. What are you laughing at?
I thought I was looking at him.
What?
I thought I was looking at him.
No, that's Moby. Yeah, look, Lee Mason sacked for the mess up with the VAR.
John's got him. Yeah. That was a joke. This is an audio podcast. John's got him.
John.
It was a sly dig.
It's a sly dig.
I feel
John.
bad about it now.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know. What are you guys talking about?
We're all whispering. I don't know. He's being audible, John, because Lee Mason's bald. And I think what Jack's trying to suggest is that you are. Know, but John shaves his head. It's a choice.
Yeah, it's true. Well, no, not really.
He's like Vin Diesel.
I'm not crown bald like old mate Lee Mason over here. But
no. Well, look,
you don't want to see me when my hair grows in. Doesn't look good.
I think you should grow it for next season.
Maybe I will. I'll look like remember like when like Bruce Willis was hanging on still in The Fifth Element, had a little bit of hair.
Yeah.
That's the most I can get out of my head, I think.
Yeah. Well, Jack's obviously got the Andre Agassi going on, hasn't he, at the minute himself?
I look like I am getting groomed for ISIS at the minute.
I know, man, you look good.
Thing is, I'm looking like a bear. Remember Justin Lee Collins, Tom, the TV presenter?
Yeah, I remember Justin Lee Collins, yeah.
Maxim Works said, start to look like Justin Lee Collins. And oh, no.
Oh, yeah, get rid of that. Start wearing floral shirts.
Yeah, when I'm shave my head.
But yeah, look.
Lee Mason. Lee Mason, yeah.
I have to say,
I don't know.
He made a big error. Like he did the VAR and he didn't even draw the line for the VAR. It was a big mistake. But as part of research for this pod, I follow loads of different Instagram groups and stuff for the different clubs, and the criticism he was getting from Arsenal fans is disgusting. And I'm not just singling out Arsenal fans.
Justified.
Because every set of fans does this. But, oh my God, man. Like, that man made a serious error. Why would you be a referee? I have a theory. He got caught in that little VAR booth, right? With a Monica Lewinsky type character, right? Not Monica Lewinsky now. She's like 73, isn't she?
Hey, Lee Mason, mate, onside. She comes in, takes her teeth out. Lee Mason's there.
Oh, goes, Monica.
Lee,
Monica's still beautiful.
The VAR. They walk in and he goes,
throw the line on this.
I've never heard his voice.
Yeah, so
Sounds a lot like Bill Clinton.
so
that
I
cigar.
did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Pulls out a cigar.
we're just about to run out of time on this Zoom.
All
But
right.
I just wanted to say I felt sorry for Lee Mason. He messed up. He cost Arsenal some points, but at the end of the day, he's just a man trying to do a job, and and he's not doing it very well. Actually, on second
Shite at
thoughts,
your job,
yeah,
mate.
Lee,
You
get
gotta
out of
keep
here.
your job.
Right, look, we're gonna go to the World Roundup with Courtney, and when we come back, we'll be into your questions from the Quickfire Forum. See you in a tip.
Hey you guys, welcome back to the World Roundup. Now let's get straight into a quick snapshot on what's going on in world football at the moment, so you can all continue to follow on at home without the roundup. In La Liga, Barcelona are sitting comfortably at the top of the table on 59 points, followed by Real Madrid on 51 and Real Sociedad on 43. La Liga has Elche, Valencia and Cadiz currently in the relegation zone. Over to Ligue A, PSG have managed to stay at the top of the table despite losing a few games. They are on 57 points, followed by Marseille on 52 and Monaco on 50 points. Ligue A has Angers, Ajaccio, Auxerre and Troyes struggling at the bottom of the table. Serie A has Napoli sitting on top on 62 points, followed by Inter on 47, and we have Roma and Milan on tied points of 44. Notice that Juventus are not in the top 4 due to their cheating allegations earlier in the season, so good to know that repercussions worked and maybe Man City are looking at similar penalties. Now, unfortunately, in football news this week, former Newcastle star Christian Atsu passed away in the earthquakes in Turkey. His wife and children joined Newcastle as they paid tribute to him before their game against Liverpool this week. We also had Turkish goalkeeper Ahmet Turkaslan pass away in the earthquakes at the age of 28. His club posting a beautiful tribute saying, "We will not forget you, beautiful person." Now going over to my favourite part of the World Roundup, which is of course, women's football. This week in the Women's Super League, we saw Tottenham's Molly Barton score an own goal in their game against United, bringing the result to a 2-1 win for the Red Devils. There was also a red card handed out to Ella Toon, who after a very questionable tackle against Evelina Summonen, pushed her to the ground in frustration. Other women's football games coming up is the 5th round of the Women's FA Cup, which will kick off between Manchester United and Durham on the 26th of Feb. And the final for the FA Cup will be played on the 14th of May at Wembley Stadium, so get your tickets and I'll see you there. And of course, I have to mention the Women's World Cup that will be held here in Australia this year, that's kicking off on the 20th of July between New Zealand and Norway. This World Cup is going to be a massive event for Australian football, so everybody make sure to get yourselves to a game and support the girls down there, showing football who's boss. Alright, that's all from me. My name's Courtney. Now you're all caught up?
And we're back. Thank you very much, Courtney. I am going to miss listening to you do that weekly roundup every single week. It is genuinely the highlight of the show. And I cannot wait for you to get picked up by like BT Sport
Stan,
or Optus or Stan or
Stan could do
Channel
with Courtney, to
9
be
or
honest. Yeah.
Fox Sports, the UFC. Anyway, you will be employed after this, Courtney. So thank you. Thank you for all your service. And obviously you mentioned the World Cup and we're all hoping we will get there. Maybe that can be one of our specials that we do.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. The first game is Australia-Ireland. That's going to be incredible. I think
Yeah,
I'm going to sneak up for that one.
It's going to be a
that'd
cracker,
good
isn't
drink.
it? It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be a good drink. Yeah, you're right.
Be a good drink.
Right, look, the final Quickfire Forum of, well, for a while anyway. For a while. We've got a couple of messages in, and these are the ones that we've sort of picked out to have a little chat about tonight, or this morning, or whatever time it is that you're actually
whenever you're
listening to this pod. Yeah.
This afternoon.
Number
Right before
one.
bed.
Number one came in from big fan of the pod, big Newcastle United fan, Tom Stoker.
Tom Stoker, like.
Who's obviously gearing up for hopefully for him and for Paul as well, of course, who's a big Newcastle fan, an absolutely cracking weekend with the cup final. Tom said he'd like us to talk about mental health for injured players and sacked managers. Yeah. It's not something that ever gets mentioned, is it really?
No.
Never. Even
because they're all rich.
Retired players. Yeah. Players who've just retired.
Like if you know, when you look at like players like, you know, like really great footballers who had really bad injury records. You know, like if you look at like Michael Owen, who obviously I love Michael, obviously.
No.
You know, a player who just hit a point where he could just never quite get fit. That must be so difficult to know that you've got so much talent, but you can't do it. And for managers as well, like, I think John's right, because they've got so much money and because it's sort of like a dream job, we all just say, well.
Cry yourself to sleep on your pile of money.
Yeah.
You know, like that's totally the attitude that people have about, you know, all players or managers or anyone with any stature and fame. You know, it's not, I'm not trying to be a class traitor here, but you know, not everyone has an easy lot in life, especially football players that come from, you know, maybe troubled backgrounds, and they make it, you know, they make a big bag of cash, and then, you know, quickly maybe fame goes away, or maybe their talent goes away, maybe injury comes. You know, it's devastating. Like that's almost even worse than it never happening. You know, so.
I heard Jordan Henderson on the High Performance podcast, Tom, if you've listened to that one, yeah.
No, I've not. Yeah.
The other guy. It's really good, but he talks about when Klopp first came in and he was injured, and he said, like, it's a very lonely place being in physio and in rehab and getting treated for your injuries because you're not around all the team anymore. And you just want to be with the team. You just want to see what's going on, and you're just not there with them anymore. And I think if you think of a high profile footballer, obviously who had a lot of trouble, was Aaron Lennon.
Yeah,
when he was at Everton. It was eventually sections, and because he was so mentally unwell. And people, you know, I think it's easy, isn't it, to be like, oh, you know, they've got all the money in the world, they can have whatever they want. But at the end of the day, for the most part, they're like, you know, if you think about when players really start hitting the peak, 26, 27, that's my age now.
Yeah.
But you think of them as grown men. People who are younger, who might be 18, might think of me as a grown man. I am not a grown man. My decision making and choices are not those of a grown man. I propositioned we have a vandalism podcast before. These are not thoughts or feelings.
Sponsored by Sharpie.
Krylon.
Paint Factory.
Yeah.
So like, but you put so much
abandoned.
And they're still necessary. The kids really might not have the best educations and whatever, and then they're just given a lot of money. But one thing we've learned from a lifetime of watching musicians or actors or comics or whatever, high profile people who have got a lot of money drink themselves to death or, you know, be so mentally unwell, is that a lot of the time they have got a great talent, but haven't always got the support network or things in place where they're like a grown-up person to deal with things. They've just got a great talent, and they're just like everyone else. They've just got an amazing talent, except for Potter. Except for Potter.
Harry Potter or Graham Potter?
Graham Potter. Every time he puts his suit on, he's stealing a living, that man. He is stealing a living. No, but seriously, and it's hard because even if you think about Premier League managers, if you come up to the Premier League, you got a team up there. You might get a good year, you might stay up. Year after, the owners want a bit more, you get sacked. Generally, you will get another Premier League team because there's other clubs without a manager. So you might get that for 3 or 4 years of being able to just jump around clubs, but eventually you hit your limit of where you can go. and then the only way is down again because you're not thought of enough to stay there.
Yeah.
So if you think about those people who have to then make the step down again because they know they're not good enough, and then as you said before, John, about like the fame, the high profile life they live, and then all of a sudden they're not anymore.
Yeah.
It's I think honestly, for
jarring.
anyone listening to this right now, after you listen to this episode, go and listen to the High Performance podcast. It's presented by Jake Humphrey and a sports psychologist. I can't think of his name. Jordan Henderson's on there the other day, and it is literally a weapons grade masterclass in talking about mental health. Give it a listen.
You know,
Oh,
I think
into it.
I think you're spot on. And you know, like we were talking about Lee Mason before, and you know, like no doubt about it. You know, look, this is a genuine thing, and something which I sort of tackle a lot with doing this podcast. And you know, we've got this podcast, and we've done this podcast, and we're not a big club. You know, we're club football, but we're not a big club. We're a consistent club. People come back. People are part of the club and whatnot. But the thought that someone could just comment on one of our videos, something really hateful, we're out there for criticism.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like to be Lee Mason, who essentially is just a good authoritarian and a disciplinarian and someone who loves football. No doubt about it. He loves football. And I'm sure his phone hasn't stopped.
To be fair, though, he's probably not checking it, is he? Because he didn't check the VAR.
He didn't check the lines, did he?
No.
Yeah, Lee, on second thoughts, get out of here.
Get out of here, lads. He's not going to see this.
No.
He's counting his money. Nah,
Yes.
You've been counting money your whole life. Nah, it's and look, he probably feels like the worst person on the planet right now.
Yeah.
You know, gotta get off these people, get off the backs.
No, they're just doing a job, aren't they?
Get off the backs, mate.
They're doing a job. So if anyone out there knows Lee Mason, message him, mate. Send him a message, because he probably needs it.
He needs a message now, mate.
Yeah.
If you're Lee Mason's mate.
He's definitely not on Twitter anymore, is he? So
nah.
Tom, thanks for sending that message in, mate. I know obviously you're a big advocate of positive talk about mental health.
Tom's messages.
Yeah, he's great.
Tom Stokel.
He's great.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He's one of them people, Tom, who really, you know, I hadn't spoke to in years and years and years. And now I'm speaking to him all the time because of the football again and the podcast. So no, we'll definitely be staying in touch with you, Tom. Don't you worry about that, pet. Question number 2 from Adam.
And I hope you smash United.
Yeah, I hope you win the cup.
It'll be amazing for you to
anything could happen in a cup final. That's all I'm saying.
Even
with Karius.
Even with
Karius. I've been in a cup final before.
Yeah.
And
did it?
I think Casemiro played in that team as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. People obviously must get fed up of us talking about Liverpool because look, we try to be unbiased, but we love Liverpool Football Club. Aaron sends us a message: can Liverpool's season be revived? I mean, we talked about it a little bit before. We're not far. Liverpool aren't far off the top 4. John, Champions League this morning, mate. Tell us about it.
I was again, you know, I told you I don't follow sports. I don't enjoy football
anymore
at all. No, never. I don't I just like history and courage and culture. I just really,
and vandalism.
Yeah, vandalism. I don't know. You know, it was a very sprightly start, 2-0 up early on, but
that Nunez goal was a cracker, wasn't it?
It's incredible, man. Like, you know, it was just like the Super Bowl. You got to halftime and you're like, okay, it's like that. Well, not really, but what, Liverpool had 45 minutes in them today, like we said. That's about it. That seems to be what their capacity is against top tier clubs right now with you know, the subs that come on. Like I said, James Milner, come on.
Yeah.
You know, like what do we expect here? Like no diss to James Milner. I love the dude, but what is he? Yeah, he's my age. Come on.
Yeah, but to be fair, look who you've got on the other side. Look at Modric.
Yeah, I know.
One of the best performances I've ever seen at Anfield.
Yeah, he looked 21, didn't he? He looked 21, and for the Benzema goal, that comes from Luka Modric breaking through the midfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he seems to be protected.
That's another thing. Yeah, he's got a bit of a cast around him to kind of swallow up some of his,
like when Pirlo was at his best there, in the Juve team and
Sydney FC?
in the Milan team.
Yeah, you're right.
No, not Del Piero, Pirlo.
I'm just kidding.
He no one could get near him.
I know.
You know what I mean? And Modric was much of the same, wasn't he? Jack, is it over? The Champions League for Liverpool this season?
Hey now, don't dream it's over. Yeah, it is. We're going to debate about.
Well,
it's but 3 goals is nothing. No away goals anymore, which I was angry about. But after that performance this morning, I thought probably a good thing.
Pretty good idea. Yeah, great.
Great idea, UEFA.
I love change. Especially in football.
Especially for this game. Unless something magical happens, Tom, I can't see it. I cannot see it. Like I said before, I don't know if Liverpool even deserve to be there. That's and it's hard to say.
It's harsh.
Yeah. Saying it looks like it's the end of an era at Liverpool, and it is.
Yeah.
As long as we go and big in the summer, I'm okay. I am okay if we don't get top 4, as long as the money's still there, because the finance thing is a load of shite. Because
yes, it is.
We won the Champions League and we signed Adrian and Van Beek. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not going to change the world. We won the Premier League. Who did we sign? Don't worry about it. It'll get better. As long as we buy players, as long as they actually have that overhaul. Next year is what it is.
You know what?
I'd like it's that COVID season again.
I'd like to give a little bit of balance to that, and the full time whistle happened. I watched it through until the end, and I seen Benzema, and they're all smiling, and they're all handshakes, and they're all made up. And I just looked at them, and I said to Mark, I watched the game with Chelsea's dad, and I said, they think it's over. And you know what? It probably is over. But, like, I'm sorry. I still think that if there's one football club in the world who could do it, it's Liverpool. And not because we're better than them, but because we're Liverpool. So, look, I'm not writing it off. I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to still have my little Liverpool shirt on. But this time, I'm not going to wear my Real Madrid cap. Right, that was Liverpool season.
Just your undies.
Yeah, that was Liverpool season in the mud. But looking up at the stars,
just like his undies.
Yeah, and then
14 stripes on them as well.
Yep.
Irish Steve, the legend, the myth, the class traitor, as John says.
Yes.
He sent in.
Steve.
To be sure, Stephen. He sent in this voice note. Take it away, Irishman.
All right, lads and lassies. Well, look, listen, it's a sad day in football to hear that club football will no longer be broadcasting the joys of the EPL to our ears every Thursday morning. Well, it's Thursday over here. You boys kick off. But look, before I get into football, I want to show my appreciation that I think, the 4 years, to be fair, you've done a stellar job. Really good, actually really good. But when you first came out with the podcast, I was like, look, I'll give it my support just for the boys, But actually, I found myself tuning every week, I absolutely love it. And so I'll tip my hat to you. Well done, guys. Let's hope next season your careers and whatnot, don't get in the way of what we want. Don't be selfish. Don't build yourself a life. Don't build yourself a career. We still need to hear you every week. But yeah, all joking aside, fantastic, lads, fantastic. So it's sad to hear that this is the last show. Anyway, to the matters that be. I've got a question. I want to start off with a question, first of all. Who, in your opinion, is the worst player ever to lift the Premier League? And there's a few corkers out there, lads. I'm going to go with Pascal Sigan, part of the Invincibles. It's hard to believe. Oh my days. So yeah, he's bald, he's shit. He only plays when no one's fit. But that's my selection. So I'm gonna love yous and leave yous for now, boys. And let's hope next season you get the podcast back up and going, and you will be introducing the first episode by saying we'd like to congratulate Arsenal on winning the Premier League. Thank you. Adios. Toodle pip.
Well, that was beautiful from Steve. I give him a lot of stick on the show for being a class traitor and an Arsenal fan, but now he's made me think twice. He's given me quite a conscience, you son of a bitch. Now I hate him even more.
It's a lovely message. Cheers, Steve.
Honestly, that was a beautiful message, Steve. Thank you very, very, very much for that. That was lovely. That, thanks, mate.
I'm gonna send you a fruit basket, Steve. DM me your home address, and it'll be there in a couple hours. I got connections. All right.
Well, look, John and I, Steve, got a lot in common. They both love a pint of Guinness. You know what I mean? All right, then, go on. Worst players to win the Premier League, lads. Who have we got?
This is a tough one.
I'd like to go first. And
yeah.
As soon as I heard it, I knew who.
You knew who?
I knew who. Pantilimon.
The keeper, the big fella.
Man City keeper.
Wasn't he like 7 foot?
He was 7 foot shite, mate. That's what he was.
He was shocking, wasn't he? Who signed him? Was he Pellegrini signing?
I'm pretty sure he played for Pellegrini. 13, 14, and that year the year that they beat Liverpool. He was in goal.
Every year they beat Liverpool to the title.
Every year they beat Liverpool, yeah.
We only do title races with Man City, I think.
Yeah, Pantilimon. He just mad. It's mad to think I'm sure he's in the Championship now.
No, he can't still be playing. Pantilimon? No. I'm Googling this. Jack, put some elevator music in. Oh my God.
Pantilimon.
No, he's retired now.
Okay.
His last club, he played for Sunderland, and then he was on loan to Deportivo La Coruña. He was 2'3". What's that?
He was a big son, bitch.
Yeah, he was a big lad, wasn't he? He was absolutely huge.
John, what's that in football field? He was 6'8".
It's a paint factory. Is it 6'8"?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like half the paint factory wall.
Big odd him. But
that's pretty impressive. What about Francis Jeffers? Won the Premier League with Arsenal.
Franny Jeffers.
Yeah, not a bad player, Franny Jeffers. Let's be honest. You know, but Franny Jeffers was like sort of like a little bit of the golden child at Everton, wasn't he? And then Wayne Rooney came through, and they were all like, "No, like Wayne Rooney's a proper footballer." What about you, John? Who have you got in mind for the worst ever player to win the Premier League?
I don't know about worst. I mean, the team that came to mind when he said that, I was like, "There's got to be somebody truly terrible on that Leicester City team that's still playing football."
There was, I mean,
know. Nathan Dyer.
Yeah, Nathan Dyer's up there.
Nathan Dyer, he went from Swansea. He was on loan. He won the league with Leicester.
Yep.
And he was that good. They sent him back to
That's
Swansea.
a good one.
It's got to be the best loan move, hasn't it?
Oh, for him, yeah.
To go to a team to win the Premier League has got to be the best loan move.
I forgot there's some really great players on this team, but some pretty ordinary ones too.
And
Ben Chilwell was on this team.
Who was the centre half pairing?
You have Wes Morgan.
Wes Morgan and Robert Huth.
Robert Huth, that season was fantastic.
They were incredible. That's the thing. Like they all had this such a blip. It was such an anomaly. All these, I mean, obviously, like Riyad Mahrez and N'Golo
Quality
Kante. We're not.
Even drink water.
Yeah, drink water.
Yeah, drink water.
In that season.
He got his move to Chelsea off that season, didn't he?
Yeah, what a regret of his that probably was.
I know
Not staying.
I know he's great, I guess, by statistical standards, but I hate Jamie Vardy. He drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give this to him just because I don't like him.
No. So I think Colleen Rooney might hate him more.
Yeah.
yeah,
Colleen definitely
exactly.
hates him more.
But that's a really good question though, because
it is good. It's hard to it's like
easily if you go Champions League, Jimmy Traore has got a Champions League winners medal.
Yeah, look, so is Igor Bishkan. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Antonio Nunes has got a
2 of them.
European Cup. Shaqiri's got 2 of them. I mean, there's some players who, talking about the Champions League, which obviously Irish Steve wouldn't know too much about. Sorry, Steve. Obviously, you're talking about Champions League winners. I think Kovacic at Chelsea's won 4 European Cups.
Wow.
And I think he played like 30 minutes combined or something in the cup finals. Like, I don't know how he's managed to do it. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's not. But he's not a player who should be winning 4 European Cups for me. Like, you know what I mean? Steve, mate, thanks for your last message of the podcast run. When we come back, Steve, no doubt we'll get you back for some more of your charm. Lads, let's have that was the Quickfire Forum. Let's have a Quickfire bake. Get your pens.
Ooh,
a
boy.
bake. Yeah, we're going to have a Quickfire bake. Let's have a quick break. And when we come back,
Do you mean marijuana?
No,
So you're trying to say?
No, it's no good for your brain, that, John.
Are you trying to say that we're going to do drugs on this break?
Never. No
May as well.
drugs.
The last one.
Oh, come on then, let's
True.
blaze up. All
Smoke
right,
them if you got them, Johnny. Let's go.
when we come back, pens and papers out. It's Name That Club. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's one of the greatest trivia games ever made. Forget you Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Shove your chase. No, not really, Brad. I work with Brad. Did I ever mention that, Jack?
Work with them all, Clang.
Work with them all, Clang. This is Name That Club. I will ask 5 questions related to Premier League clubs or English football clubs. And you've just got to write down the answer, and at the end we mark the answers. It's sort of John versus Jack, but it's really,
It really
both.
is.
It's really both the boys against the quizmaster.
Friend versus foe.
Hair versus.
Don't know which one's foe.
I don't
No.
know. It just sounded good. Shut. Okay, come on. leave
You're
me alone.
both fucking useless. Are you ready?
Oh my goodness. My
Question
favorite restaurant.
Question number 1. Which club did Marco Silva manage before Fulham? Insert elevator music. Which club did Marco Silva manage before Fulham? Question number 2.
That's pretty easy though.
Manchester City are affiliated with which Australian-based club?
Oh, these are softballs today. Come on.
All right, mate. Well,
All right.
wait for number 3, will you?
All right. It's true. This could be. That could be ruining the day. As they
Talking
say.
of softballs, how are you doing on these ones, Jack?
Good. I think I got the first one. Oh, we'll just carry on. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Jack is quite firm balls. Okay, just chill out. All right.
Number 3.
True.
Which current Premier League club did Brian Clough manage before Nottingham Forest?
Oh,
Directly before Nottingham Forest. Which current Premier League club did Brian Clough manage before Nottingham Forest? Directly
That's
before Nottingham Forest.
I was reading this not long ago too. God.
They're not our people. That was number 3. Anyone who loves the film The Damned United, I'm sure, will be very aware of that answer. Number 4, which Midland-based Premier League clubs did Andy Gray play for? There's 3. I want you to tell me the 3.
Andy Gray.
Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Andy Gray. Great footballer. Decent pundit. Doesn't like women, apparently. Number 5. And the last question in Name That Club. Who was the last player not associated with Liverpool or Manchester City to win the Footballers Player of the Year? Professional Footballers Player of the Year.
Wait, what was the question again?
Who was the last player not associated with Liverpool or Manchester City to win the Professional Footballers Player of the Year?
Damn it.
The current Player of the Year is Mo Salah. He's won it twice.
So when you mean not associated with Man City, that means has never played for them, correct? Like even before he won it?
The player I'm talking about didn't win it with another club. So, i.e., it wasn't Mahrez.
Okay. That's exactly what I was thinking of because he won it in 2005. Because I remember that was a big deal because he was the first African player. He's Algerian to win that.
Heather. Right. Are you ready for the answers?
Okay.
Question number 1. Which club did Marco Silva manage before Fulham? Directly before. It was Watford. Did anyone write Everton?
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, softballs, eh, John?
Softball.
Damn, you got us.
Remember, but of course you went back to Watford because they love hiring the same manager 3 times.
Everyone manages Watford. Question number 2. Manchester City are affiliated with which Australian-based club?
Melbourne City.
Of course, it's Melbourne City.
Yes.
The Australians will
For
get that one.
Dad.
The English might struggle. Number 3, and Irish, Steve, and American, to our listener in Ohio, I think.
And Uganda, man.
Number 3, which current Premier League club did Brian Clough manage before Nottingham Forest? Any guesses?
Leeds.
Leeds.
Directly before,
Aston Villa.
it was Brighton and Hove Albion.
Oh,
What?
yeah. I went Leeds.
So he was Derby manager. Then he
I
went
thought
to
Leeds was after.
He went to Leeds. Then he got the job at Brighton.
And then he went to the other
Hold on a second.
I thought
I'm
Leeds was after.
Tom, I've seen the film.
Because
I'm going to
I
fact check this as we
fact check that because
Fact.
I thought Leeds was it because I was rereading that Soccernomics book and there's a big thing about Brian Clough.
Hold on.
If I ever hear the name Don fucking Revy again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is Leeds United.
Ooh, okay, that's 2.
Yes, I sincerely apologise. But look, I'm
That's
happy
okay.
to accept it. How about that?
That's good.
So he did manage Brighton and Hove Albion for, I think less than a season and then got offered the big Leeds job and he had to take it, didn't he?
Don't do
He
it
wish he
again next
didn't. Which Midlands-based clubs did Andy Gray play for? He played for 3. You need to give me 3.
Aston Villa.
Correct?
Yeah, he
West
played for
Brom.
Aston Villa. Wolves.
Correct.
Wolves.
And the last one?
Midlands. It wasn't not Middlesbrough. It was
Birmingham.
West Brom.
It was West Bromwich Albion. He played for Villa, Wolves, and West Brom.
Yes,
Played
I
for
got them all.
Did you?
Yeah.
Jack loves Andy Gray, mate.
Dig a bow, son. Dig a bow.
And so that's 1 point. Who was number 5? Who was the last player not associated with Liverpool or Manchester City to win the PFA award? It was.
I have no idea on this one.
It was
Harry Kane.
N'Golo Kante.
Say.
Fuck.
He had that smashing season, didn't he, under Conte? I think.
Yeah,
How did you do, lads?
I got 3.
Oh,
I got
Jeff.
3 as well. Is
Hey,
there a
not bad.
tiebreaker?
Is there a tiebreaker?
Yeah, all right. I'll give you a quick tiebreaker question.
Who knows? John knows. That's the tiebreaker.
Are you
Hey,
ready?
Tom. spin it round. Give us a left foot, right foot.
All right,
Oh.
okay. All right. Quick left foot, right foot question then.
Do it.
You ready? What foot was Gianfranco Zola?
Okay.
I'm guessing left foot.
Left foot.
I don't know. I'm Googling it myself. Are you ready? What did you
what is
say?
it? We
Left.
both said left, which is.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God,
change it to. Is
it
it
was-
left?
It was right.
Oh damn it!
Well, give us
Just-
another tiebreaker.
Just want
Give
one
us,
more.
give us a who knows that Tom knows.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
give us
Tom
a
knows.
who knows. Tom knows.
Okay, are you ready?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Andy Gray knows.
All right. Okay. All right. There's an iron sitting next to me, just to the right. It's
Yeah.
white. And what other colour?
Great.
Right? I'm going to give you some options. Is it red, pink, blue, purple, or green? Red, pink,
Ooh.
blue, purple, or green?
I'm jumping in with pink.
I'm gonna go purple.
It was pink. John wins. Name that club. Who knows? Tom knows.
Name
The
that
game.
club and left foot, right foot. You got it all there, people.
That
Well done, John.
keeps on giving. Lads, thanks so much for playing.
In your face, Jack.
Add a ball. Add a ball. I asked Mark if he wanted to get involved and write the questions this week, but I think he likes
Not
answering them
knowing.
more.
He likes guessing them.
Yeah, he likes playing.
On your mark.
Lads,
That-
should we look
That feels
ahead
better than. Sure.
to
That's better than the time that I won. Did I tell you guys about the last time I went to quiz out with my wife and all her teacher friends?
No.
Oh man, a couple weeks ago, for months I was talking massive shit to my wife because she would come home every Wednesday and be like, "Yeah, we got 6th place, we got 7th place." I'm like, "Should have had me, should have had me, should have had me." The
Yeah.
first time I go do it, what do? We take home the gold that night.
Wow.
My wife still hears it to this day, but I was an unruly menace throughout the entire thing, just screaming at other tables, embarrassing my wife. At the end, it came down to a coin flip because we tied with another team and I called it. I'm fist pumping the air when I called tails, pointing in the dude's face who called heads, screaming at this dude. I was an absolute tyrant, but you're getting off easy, Jack.
I feel like I'm getting off very easy, to be honest.
I swear to God, I couldn't. I almost flipped a table when I called the right.
I need a car. I need a car to flip right now. Okie dokie, we're back. And
Okie
okie dokie then. And we're talking about our predictions for the rest of the season. Obviously, early doors, Jack, when we're doing predictions. They weren't very good.
We're just
were they?
innocent, man.
What's that? What's that from?
I'll send you that.
Okay.
You need
Right.
to be on Twitter.
Let's start with the big one, lads. Who will win the Premier League? At the moment, Arsenal on 23 games, 54 points. Manchester City are 2 points behind and have played a game more. Who's going to win the Premier League?
Sorry, Stevie. Man City are going to win the league.
You
Good
know,
on you, Steve. See,
I'd love Arsenal
I
to
always
do it.
liked you.
That's
I
what
really
I'm saying.
would. I'd like Arsenal to do it. The way they've gone about it, they've brought in a coach that they trusted. He had a tough time last season, but they stuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of some deadwood with Aubameyang and a couple of other players. And then there's other lads who didn't look like they even deserve to wear the Arsenal shirt, like Xhaka. He's been sensational. And El Neni as well, who's just signed a new I think longer term contract with Arsenal as well.
How many years did he sign for?
I think 2-year extension, I think.
Okay.
Why? You got a gag?
El Nene.
El
El
Neni, yeah.
El Manny, did he sign?
I thought
Look
thought
at you
it was
guys
gonna
are
be-
just seriously a comedic duo.
Yeah. Oh no, damn.
We're Laurel and Hardy over here.
Wish.
Yeah.
Wish.
We haven't
happened
told
there.
you, John, but we're gonna actually just start our own bad gag podcast.
Just
Random.
for
Yeah.
just for laughs.
And we'll get Mark
Canberra.
on as well. He loves a bad gag. Yeah, look, I'd love to say Arsenal, but everything in my instincts says that Manchester City will win
That City pips them.
the title.
Peps them.
Welcome back for Just for Laughs.
No,
Yes.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice if City won it, because when they're in the Championship next year.
Yeah, a nice goodbye sort of thing.
Farewell.
Yeah. What about the top four then, gents? Who's going to make up the rest of the top four?
I mean, the only spot up for contention is 4, because it's going to be City, United, Arsenal. That's 1 through 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Tottenham look okay, but they're. I mean, I don't know. Look at there's Liverpool at 8, Brighton at 7, Fulham at 6 with 2 games. Liverpool have 2 games in hand on them.
Yeah.
Newcastle, who are sputtering, and Tottenham, who have also played 2 more games than Liverpool. I don't know. It might not be crazy to think that Liverpool will finish 4th. I don't know if we deserve to, but I think Liverpool's got 5th or 4th written all over them.
I'd rather 4th than 5th.
Yeah, I'd rather
same.
4th than
I mean,
5th.
obviously.
Otherwise, we're
Unless,
gonna
of
play
course,
88 games next year.
Unless, of course, one of the other English teams goes on to win the Champions League above us, which would likely be Manchester City, wouldn't it? What about Chelsea then, boys? What's gonna happen?
Hey, boy.
I think they're out the top 4 hunt, aren't they? But what's
Hey,
gonna
boy.
happen there? Is he gonna get to the end of the season, Potter?
Him and Lee Mason are going to be on a nice holiday somewhere.
Yeah, they're gonna start a podcast together.
Yeah. It'll be called Bad Decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad idea, jeans.
And then at the end of each podcast, Lee Mason just says really straight, I'm drawing a line on this, and they both have a little laugh over it.
Oh my
and then,
god!
Yeah.
And then that's that. All right, then let's talk about the dirty
The
stuff.
back
then.
crack and sack podcast. The back crack and sack podcast with Lee Mason and Graham Potter. It's like a men's grooming and I don't know, severance package podcast that they're going to be talking.
I'm sure. Look, Potter gets sacked from there, and I'm sure he's on for a lovely payday, isn't he?
Yep.
He could probably buy, put a couple of quid together and buy everything the way it's looking. All right, then what?
Stadium.
What about by Bournemouth at his stadium? What about the bottom 3 then? Who's going to go down at the moment? Southampton.
This is fun. I like this one. I like
Southampton 18 points, Leeds 19, West Ham 20, Bournemouth 21, Everton 21, Wolves 23. I mean, probably anyone.
Yeah,
and then
it's anyone's
Leicester,
game at this point.
Then Nottingham Forest. All of them could go down, couldn't they? But who's going to go down?
Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton definitely. I hope West Ham go down so badly.
No,
because there's a chance. Not because I don't like them.
They were Tom's team at the start of the year.
It would be great to see them play Millwall a few more times this season. They'll both be in the championship. That will be some shit right there.
If you're Millwall, you'd prefer the away day, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, 100%. But imagine being those West Ham players. They play
I know, right?
in the Olympic Stadium on one Saturday, and then they go to the Den the next week.
The Den.
Horrible.
Hell
Horrible.
yeah.
That's a wake-up call, isn't it? Going down to the
right?
championship's a wake-up
Seriously,
call.
but that's what I want to see. I want to see them
on. I reckon Potter will get them up next season.
Yeah. David Moyes is a football genius. I think Bournemouth.
The
The
cherries.
Look, like they've never sort of left that relegation area. I think they've been in and out of it. I think Bournemouth are just one of them clubs who are just destined to sort of be in and around that space. Obviously, I want West Ham to stay up. I want Leeds to stay up. I want Everton to stay up, Jake, believe it or not. But the rest of them I couldn't really care less about.
Yeah, really. Southampton. What a
sorry if that's your team, listener.
Yeah, I know, but look, you know, like you've got to have your favourites, haven't you? Look, but you know, there's some clubs who like look at Nottingham Forest at the moment, and you know they've played the same amount of games as everyone else. They're on 25 points. They're 5 points clear of the relegation zone. They've got to be fancying that. They've got to be fancying that, and they've got Keylor Navas as well, who's a cracking goalkeeper. They look like they might be all right. Champions League winner, lads. Obviously, we've all gone for Liverpool. That's great.
I think Real.
I think we watched it. Yeah, this morning.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Do we know who the winner of our tie plays? Yeah.
No, it's drawn, isn't it?
It's still drawn.
Drawn at this point. Yeah.
I think if and when Madrid do beat us at the Bernabeu,
at Bernie's place.
I think I'd like to see them knock City out at least on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Has anyone ever done like a thing like weekend at Bernie's, weekend at the Bernabeu?
What?
Can be one of the specials.
What's his name? What's it? John Candy?
What?
Jurgen Klopp dressed as John Candy. Goes to the Bernabeu.
What? It was our boy. What was it? Sarah Silverman's brother, Jonathan Silverman. He was in that movie.
Oh, Sarah Silverman's brother, Lee Mason.
Yeah, Lee Mason.
He's got a new podcast, Lee Mason and with Potter. Yeah, look, I think Real Madrid certainly favourites. You know, look, I'm one of them people. Really, I'm not patriotic. I couldn't care less if an English club wins it. I don't want another English club to win it.
Neither do I.
It'd be nice for like a Borussia Dortmund to win the European Cup. As a neutral, it'd be lovely to see.
No, because then why would Bellingham leave?
Oh, because he's still playing for Borussia Dortmund.
You know,
look at what
Club Brugge is going to win it, so just chill. Don't worry.
Did you say Borussia Dortmund?
Borussia Dortmund.
Did you say Dortmund then, or who did you say?
Borussia Dortmund.
You did say Borussia Dortmund, didn't you?
Yeah, why?
Am I hearing things here? Yeah, no. If they win the Champions League, he's going to stay there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he's still playing for Borussia Dortmund.
I know, but he might lift it.
I know we might lift it, and it'd be an amazing achievement. But next season, they start the season, and they compete. They're never going to compete with Bayern Munich.
Gerrard's just won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Gonna go to Chelsea. Where are Chelsea playing at this moment in time?
Yeah, but Steven Gerrard played for Liverpool in the best league in the world. Bellingham's playing for a brilliant club with the best fans, but he's only playing in the Bundesliga for the second richest club.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I'm not dissing Borussia Dortmund. I love Borussia Dortmund. Like, you know what I mean.
I don't want them to win it. That's if you're a Borussia Dortmund fan out there, suck it, mate. I don't want you to win it. I want Real to get 15, and then we can say, "Oh, we got knocked out by the champions. They beat everyone that year."
I love that excuse. Oh well, it's fine.
It's the champions.
Yeah, look, it's okay. We did good. Fine, little giants out there. That's us.
I did see that when it was I follow the A leagues on and like Football Australia or Soccer Australia or whatever they call it, and when France and Argentina got to the World Cup final, that's what they put out on their tweet was, oh well, we got beat, but we only got beat by the two teams in the final, and I was like, that's not an achievement.
Yeah, that's not great.
Stop celebrating that. You know, strive for better, Australia. Strive for better.
Well, we got our ass kicked by both these teams. Well, did pretty good, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, g'day.
And look, quickly before we move on, Europa League winner, you're probably looking at Barcelona or Man United, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's say Barcelona.
Yeah, let's say Barcelona for. It's
Mark,
been a rough day. All right, come on.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. But the thought of you guys winning a trophy, I never enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it. Gents, we have very nearly reached the end of the podcast.
Climax.
Yeah, what I'd love to say is to everyone who's followed us for the last 24 episodes, it's been a real genuine pleasure coming on and doing our best to entertain you weekly with, you know, crap predictions and terrible impressions, and every now and again our Jack sings, and believe it or not, he's in a band and he's really good.
Some pretty serious jokes out of Jack lately, though. It's been
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Today
it's
was good.
Yeah, Jack's proper getting into the like political, satirical stuff,
Real
and
David,
we love it.
real David Sedaris over here.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I completely agree with you. And look, it's been brilliant. It's been boss. I know Jack's the same. It's been great getting messages from people who we haven't spoke to in a long time. What I would say is that, you know, we do say every week, message your mate. Please do it. People, you never know what people are going through. So send them a message. We'd like to dedicate the podcast this week to someone who we as a podcast team, if you like, we lost very recently. Lynette is the mum of my partner Chelsea, and Courtney, of course, who does the World Roundup, and Mark, who's a big listener to the show. She passed away recently, and it sort of hit us all with a bit of a spade in the face. Lynette was lovely, really funny woman. I can't say she loved her football, to be fair, but when I told her that, you know, Nottingham Forest got a win or whatever, she was a little bit happy. So we're all gonna absolutely miss Lynette. She was an absolutely cracking woman, and I think anyone who ever met her would absolutely agree. Lynette, we absolutely love you. Jack, John, we're at the end,
Tom.
boys. We've done it. We've done the last
Hold on a
one for
second,
a
I got a
while
phone
anyway.
Get a
What?
phone call. Get a phone call.
You getting a phone call?
Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What happened? I
who
fell
wants to
asleep for
come
a
on?
second. No.
He wants to come on.
Who wants to
I'm
come
going to put
on?
him on.
You gonna put him on?
Hello, lads. Steve Bruce here. It's been a
Stevie!
fantastic season. You've done really well.
Oh, mate, thank you so much,
Keep going.
Steve.
We try and do it every week, but we can't. I went Welsh.
was
Why are you
gonna
going
say-
Welsh, Steve?
It wasn't
That- that-
Steve, it
that
was
veered it
me
off a little bit.
after all. Honestly, it's been a pleasure doing this. Obviously, work commitments and life gets in the way sometimes,
Yeah.
and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Right now, all I want to do is have a Leonardo DiCaprio Wolf of Wall Street moment. So I'm not fucking leaving. But I know next week life will be in the way again, and work will be in the way again, and it's just not feasible. It's just not doable, and it doesn't feel right not being able to put out a great product every single week. And yeah, I'm gonna miss doing it. We have got some things planned for the future, and hopefully next
Come on over,
season we are
boys.
in a better situation to hit it and hit it all year. But it's
Yeah.
bloody hard work doing this stuff, you know.
It is.
You
It's
just
time
listen once a
consuming.
week.
Yeah.
It's time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. And honestly, my hope is that with this ending, it means Liverpool will be a good team again. Because
Yeah, we
put
there's
them-
undoubtedly a direct correlation between when Liverpool start to being shit.
Yep,
And
we
us
put the
doing
mush on them.
Yeah, we did.
So,
We did. So hopefully we'll
if-
disappear and we'll be back.
and if you are someone out there who doesn't like Scousers and you think I like Scousers now because of these guys, or I used to hate Liverpool, but after hitting these boys, I appreciate them again. Well, I want you to hate Liverpool again because
Yeah.
Liverpool are going to be a good team again.
Look, as I did say, we're going to keep the socials. We're going to keep adding to the away day playlist. Do stay in touch with us. We will respond to your messages on the socials, and of course, we will let you know as soon as we have the light through the cracks of what our plans will be next. Look, as I mentioned earlier, do follow West Underground. It's a brilliant podcast. Jack does it with a guy called Hamish. It's brilliant. Have a look at them on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. And they're also, Grand Union, which is a brilliant band as well. They do the soundtrack for this podcast. So thank you to the Grand Union once again for allowing us to use their song for the soundtrack for the pod. John's got loads of stuff going on. He's got gigs going on. If you're in Canberra or even in Sydney, come and watch one of John's gigs and have a pint with me. So from me, from Jack, from John, and from Courtney, thanks so much for joining our club for the last 24 episodes. We'll see you in the future. And as Courtney says, you're all caught up. See you soon.